Alright everyone, let's get this over with because I'm sitting in a very hot room with my windows closed and my fans off as to not to get feedback. We're talking about Predator Hunting Grounds today. I wanted to put this off. I'm afraid to talk about this game because next week this could be a non-issue. It's why I'm afraid to review it, it's why I'm afraid to talk about it, because this is clearly one of those games in this modern era of game design. Unfinished product, unfinished game, gonna be fixed with patches. A lot of the complaints, a lot of the things I say are problematic or not okay, could be non-issues. 2 patches in, 3 patches in. But I really want to talk about what's going on now because this is clearly an issue that's dividing the community, and that's the knife damage and the parry mechanic that the fire team has access to. I think this is problematic because it's got people thinking the Predator is weak. It's got the Predator, like, people think the Predator needs to be nerfed or buffed, or that the fire team needs to be nerfed or buffed. I don't think either types of character, I think the human character and the Predator character, as they are in the game, work just fine. They do what they're supposed to do. You have an increment of, at the highest, 150 HP. The Predator's smacking you for 30 damage with a melee attack. That's plenty of damage. That's plenty of damage for it to justify a bigger, stronger thing killing you. That's 5 hits. A person could not kill you in 5 smacks. Typically, like an average person. A really big, strong person going for something vital obviously could, but you get my point. Like, they have to shoot at you with machine guns. You have to hit them 5 times. It's a video game. That, at its core, is balance. The problem is the actual mechanics and how they work. The mechanics built around this balance. We're talking about the parry and the knife today because they are both clearly very strong. The knife as an option is very strong, and it has a lot of people one of 2 ways. Most people, from what I can tell, are sick and tired of seeing this immersion-breaking, anti-source material style situation in their video game. What do I mean by anti-source material? What happened to Billy in 1987 when he tried to fight the Predator with a machete? What happened to Arnold Schwarzenegger when he tried to go fisticuffs with this thing? You can't fight them this way. That's the point of them. That's the point of them eschewing just making plasma guns and having advanced alien firepower. They don't do that. They come at you with wrist blades and spears and shit. And this parry mechanic completely undermines that, and that bothers a lot of people. A lot of other people are like, you take this away, you're just going to have people falling in on us, meleeing us repeatedly, and killing us. There's going to be no counterplay to it. Berserker Predators, being the biggest, heaviest, most HP Predators, are going to fall on us, and they're going to kill us. And there's nothing we're going to be able to do about it. Which isn't true. If I can find which page on the forum where someone posted a video of a guy sitting there with his heavy machine gun, the Predator runs at him full from the front, he just shoots at him. He doesn't even parry, he doesn't even use the knife for this mechanic, and he stops him by himself. You can stop melee rushing without parrying and using the knife, but people want to pretend that you can't because they just want more options to do so. Which I can respect. Getting rushed down can be annoying. But what we have here in this video is me solo killing a Predator with my knife by myself, just as a fire team member. I don't pull out my gun, I don't shoot at him, and I just want to break down what happens in this video, just what I've gathered from me watching myself do this. Point 1, I soloed this guy, my teammate isn't even facing my direction. I think he's kind of lagging out or glitched out, because he's moving, but he's holding still. It's weird. My starting health was 147, he lands 1 hit before I get my parries, does about 34 damage. A parry gets my health to 110. So a parried hit from the Predator, from the big bad in the 1v4, does 3 damage. He did 3 damage to me, because I parried his wrist blades with my knife. Okay, sure, whatever. Typically, there's a prompt telling you when to parry. That was my initial issue with the mechanic, before I realized how spammable and how strong it was. The fact is that the game tells you when to do it. As someone who plays fighting games, if I knew that there was some indication, like for people who pick characters like Jin or Asuka or Hakumen throughout fighting games, I'd be very furious. Like, they need to know when to time that. They need to know when to do that, and they need to be punishable when they do it wrong. This game doesn't have that. At one point, he gets my health from 110 to 75 health with one clean hit. So again, 35 damage. He goes down in about 4 or 5 hits. It's kind of hard to tell. I'm pretty sure it's 5. He manages to get my health from 75 to 69. So I parry this dude 6 times. I can't stress enough, I'm just mashing the parry button in this fight. I'm not timing anything, I'm not doing anything smart. Parrying makes your stamina go down, but doesn't need stamina. So basically it's like, I guess it's so I won't run away after I do this, but that doesn't help at all. I just want to stress, a lot of people are going to see this video or see me do this, and they're going to think, oh, the Predator could have just ran away, he could have jumped away, he could have thrown something at you, he could have shot at you. At one point, he throws his combi stick at me, clean hit, does 82 damage. I'm able to heal myself. He's shooting arrows in his plasma gun at us this whole game. I'm not putting the whole game up. I'm just putting this part where I decimate this big bad 1v4, the 1 in the 1v4, with a melee weapon. Look, there is counterplay to this. That's what this video is going to be flooded in the comments section with. The ability to use your net gun, use your plasma caster, the bow, throw the combi stick, or my personal favorite way to counter this is the handheld plasma gun, because it works better at close range. So basically, you have this close range weapon if you've chosen to engage that can't be parried. And I've essentially been forced into using this, so I'm not going to say I'm super happy about it. But it does work. It gets around the parry aspect of this very well. I really don't feel like you should have to. I really don't feel like this guy should have had to back off. I really don't feel like it should have been this easy for me to stop him. I feel as though there should be some sort of limit. Like, I've already gone on the forums, I've gone on the feedback page, I've argued with several people. Shout outs to anyone over there, Fire, I forget their other names, but they make a lot of good points in favor and against this mechanic, but from my perspective, I have plenty of games where I have gunned down a Predator, or I have been gunned down as the Predator, where no one does this. They just play smart. They have overlapping fields of fire, and they beat me doing what they're supposed to do, and that shoot me down. This weird knife meta where people run at you, run at the big bad alien monster with better knives, and beat you, it's getting really old. It's not actually fun. And everyone who defends the knife and the parry mechanic, they have it in their head that they're stopping people from playing stupid. They're stopping people from playing mindlessly and not strategizing. No, you're not. You're going out of your way to turn... You're automatically in a defensive position. You're worried about this thing hunting you, being better than you, coming at you. You're going after it. I had a game last night. I was so mad, I just alt F4'd, I'm not going to lie, they ran at me, and they kept spotting me, and the eyeball kept blinking on my screen multiple times, and they were chasing after me. They weren't doing their mission, they weren't playing the game, they were coming after me, because I'm one guy, and it's really easy for you to shoot and stab me, even though it shouldn't be. It's just that if you have it in your head you're stopping some sort of mindless, spamming gameplay, I can't turn off your bullets, I can't stop you from shooting, and I can't even parry you. The Predator can't parry the human's knife attacks. There's a disjoint here. There's obviously... You don't understand what the Predator should be doing at this point if you think this is okay. I get it. You want to stop one strike. You want to prolong your lifespan when he falls in on you with his higher damage and his quick dispatching mechanics. I respect that. You don't need to be able to mash the V button, parry him 6 times for free. You don't need to be able to do that. Maybe once or twice. Maybe your knife breaks. Maybe there's an internal cooldown. Maybe... if you have 0 stamina, you can't parry anymore. Because as it is now, the counterplay is not strong. Falling in on someone, shifting between weapons ranged ability and just not aiming so the Predator uses his wrist blades, that's not strong. It leaves you open. The Predator moves very slow when he's aiming. Okay, so in theory, when I fight one person this way and they're using their knife, yeah, this will work just fine. The knife has very weak range compared to the Predator's melee attack, so if I back off slightly and shoot at him with the handheld plasma caster, I'm going to win. What about his other 3 fire team members? What if they're all shooting at me? What am I supposed to do then? Sit there, aim slowly, get popped? Because that happens too. It's not fun. It's not fun to watch happen. You just want to be invincible. I don't want to be invincible, but yeah, I'm playing this character for a power trip. I'm trying to have a power trip here. There's a shooting game called Titanfall. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it's literally giant mechs versus normal-sized people, because it's a power trip. And it's also a power trip to be able to kill these things, but they have rocket launchers and stuff that makes it make sense. You killing the Predator with a knife does not make sense. And I just wanted to post this video to talk about it because I feel like behind the safety of a forum board and typos and clearly a language barrier, I'm not judging English is weird, you're not getting your points across properly. And you think you're making some sort of stand against mindless people who don't know what they're doing or aren't playing the game properly. Now, I fall down behind people. That's not hard. I shift between shooting at them and using my wrist blades. It's not hard. It's not hard to not just mindlessly run in on a fire team. Even when you choose not to do that, it's still harder to win with the Predator than it is with the fire team. I'm having way more fun with the fire team. Not really. It's not fun. I'm just winning more. Winning, in theory, should be fun. Mowing down a Predator with a minigun that supports starting LMG gun or a knife is not fun. It's simplistic. I had a guy fall down on me, teabag me, get the special, unique hunter, like, you know, skull stealing animation. We still made him self-destruct. It wasn't hard. And what was he doing? He was fighting my other teammates, and I came up behind him and started slashing at him. It's not hard. This needs to be fixed somehow. This needs to be changed somehow. And it probably will because, again, this is an unfinished game. It's not a full $60 price point, so it's going to get away with it. But yeah, they're probably going to do something about it. But anyway, thank you for watching. I hope this enlightened people as to what's happening. This is why you're losing to the knife, because it's so easy to use. There's no skill involved with the knife. There's less skill involved with using the knife with the fire team than running at someone face first with the Predator and mashing melee with the combi stick. And if you hate that style of play, you hate that idea so much, but you're okay with parrying, you're a hypocrite. You got dropped by a berserker and you're salty about it. Because it's just, when I do lose to a Predator who's figured out what I'm doing, who will back off, throw the combi stick at me, or back off and shoot at me when I'm doing this, when I'm spamming the V button, I'm not mad at the Predator. But yeah, when I fall down and I have to like work around all this crap to kill a single fire team member whilst getting shot at by his teammate, or even if I'm not getting shot at by his teammates, yeah, I'm mad at the fire team. They're not putting in any work. And it's a damn shame that they get to pretend that they are.